गुजरात और हिमाचल में चुनाव की तारीखों का ऐलान किया जा रहा है। सीधे चलते हैं, चुनाव आयोग की तरफ से प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की जा रही है।
Elections. The Commission, after visiting the poll-bound state, had directed the state election machinery to ensure a smooth, effective, accessible, and time-bound completion of special summary revision of electoral roll with the qualifying date of 1st January 2017. A second special summary revision in 2017 was organized in Himachal from 1st July 2017 to 15 September 2017, during which 1.25 lakh number of voters have been added in the electoral rolls, while 47,240 names have been deleted. A special drive to enroll left-out voters was again organized because some voters had said that our name have not been included, and this was organized from 16th to 13th September, in which the BLOs have visited the house-to-house survey again they done, and 74,885 new voters have been added, out of which 20,437 voters are in the age group of 18 to 19. Election Commission is committed to have all the voters in the electoral roll, but we have been launching special drives to ensure that the first-time voters, those who become 18 years of age on 18 years, they should definitely be enrolled. So that is why out of these 74,800 names, 20,437 are the voters who are in the age group of 18 to 19. Photo electoral rolls will be used during this general election, and now we have in Himachal electoral roll photographs of all the voters. The photo voter slips will also be distributed to facilitate the voters to know where he or she is enrolled as a voter at a particular polling station and what is its serial number. The Commission has directed that voter slip bearing the photo of the elector, wherever it is available, will be distributed 7 days before the date of poll by the BLOs. This time we have also added one more feature, that is voter guide brochure. In these elections, a voter guide brochure in local language, that is Hindi, shall be handed over to every household ahead of the elections, giving information about the date, time of polls, contact detail of the BLOs, helpline numbers, documents, and do's and don'ts for the voters. As far as the number of polling stations is concerned, in the 2012 assembly election, the number of polling stations was 7,252. Now the DOs and the CO of Himachal had carried out a very extensive rationalization of polling booths, and now the number has increased to 7,521. That is an increase of 3.2%. I am very happy to share with you that in Himachal the assured minimum facilities are of very good order, and state government had also done very good work in ensuring that all the polling booths have these 5 assured minimum facilities. The Commission has also issued instructions to ensure that as far as practicable, all polling stations should be located at ground floor, and sturdy ramps should be provided for convenience of differently abled persons. In order to provide targeted and need-based facilitation to differently abled voters, the Commission has directed that all persons with disabilities in all the 68 assembly constituencies should be identified, and I am very happy to inform you that the CO and the entire team of DOs have done a very good work. Now each polling station, how many differently abled persons or persons with disability would be coming, they have been identified, and what type of help will be required. The state government has also procured 200 wheelchairs for this, helping the persons who have a problem of walking. So that is a very good initiative taken by the state governments also. Then next aspect is the voter assistance booths. Voter assistance booths shall be set up by the DOs for every polling station locations, where a team of BLO and officials with who are familiar with the local situation, they will be posted, and they would be guiding the voters with their number. They will have a photo voter slip. The details will be there, so they will be facilitating the voters. Next point is regarding secrecy of voting. In the last elections which were held, a representation was received that the height of the standardized voting compartment should be increased. This time, because now we are going to have VVPAT also along with the EVM, so that height should be increased. So Commission has already issued instructions to increase the height of voting compartments to 30 inch as against 24 inch which was earlier there. It has been further directed that voting compartments should be placed on a table whose height shall also be 30 inches, and it should be made of corrugated plastic sheets, that is the flex board of steel grey color, which is completely opaque and is reusable. We are also going to have this all women managed polling station as part of its firm commitment towards gender equality and greater constructive participation of women in the electoral process. The Commission had directed the CO and the DOs to have all women managed polling station in each state assembly constituency. CO and his team of DOs have done a very good work, that they have identified 2 polling stations in each assembly constituencies. So there shall be 136 all women managed polling station this time, and it would be for the first time that all women managed polling stations will be there in Himachal Pradesh. Next, coming to the EVMs and the voter verifiable paper audit trail, which is commonly known as VVPAT. The poll in the state will be conducted at all the 7,521 polling stations, with the breakup is 7,479 regular polling station and 42 auxiliary polling station. The Commission has already made arrangements to ensure availability of required number of EVMs and VVPATs for the smooth conduct of election. The first level check of EVMs and VVPAT has been completed in the presence of representative of the political parties. A 2-stage randomization of EVM and VVPATs will also be done. In the first stage, all the EVMs and VVPATs stored in the district storage center will be randomized by the district election officer in the presence of the representatives of the recognized political parties for assembly constituency-wise allocation. The second randomization of the EVMs and VVPATs shall be done at the RO level before preparation of EVMs for dispatching them to the polling station wise locations. This would be done in the presence of our general observer, contesting candidates and their agents. EVMs and VVPATs will be prepared and set for elections after finalization of the contesting candidates list. At this stage also, candidates and their agents will be allowed to check and satisfy themselves about the error-free functionality of the EVM and VVPATs. On a pilot basis, VVPAT from one polling station in each assembly constituency in Himachal Pradesh will be randomly selected to count the VVPAT paper slips for verification of the result obtained from the control unit and match it with the count of the paper slips obtained from the VVPAT. Thus, paper slips for 68 polling stations would be counted in the coming Himachal Pradesh elections. Next is the affidavits of candidates. All the candidates who are going to contest the elections would be filing their affidavits. In pursuance of the judgment of the Supreme Court passed in 2013, it is obligatory for the returning officer to check whether the information required is fully furnished by the candidate at the time of filing of affidavit with nomination paper. Many times the candidates are leaving blank. They neither write yes nor write no. Because you have to fill all the columns of the affidavits of that form 26, and if you leave you means any candidate will not fill, the RO will send him a notice and ask him to give the entire information. You cannot conceal or not give the information that has been prescribed, and the returning officers shall ensure it. After such notice, if a candidate still fails to file affidavit complete in all respects, The nomination paper will be liable to be rejected by the returning officer at the time of scrutiny. Next is the district election management plan. All district election officers of the state have been asked to prepare a comprehensive district election management plan in consultation with the SSPs and the SPs and sector officers. Next important issue is the implementation of the model code of conduct. The model code of conduct comes into force immediately from now onwards. All the provisions of the model code will apply to the whole state of Himachal Pradesh and will be applicable to all candidates, political parties and the state government of Himachal Pradesh. The model code of conduct shall also be applicable to the union government in as far as announcements, policy decisions pertaining to these states are, that is Himachal Pradesh is concerned. There will be also videography and webcasting, CCTV coverage, and we can say that all critical events will be videographed. District election officers will arrange sufficient number of videos and digital cameras, and camera teams shall be deployed for the purpose. The events for videography will include filing of nomination papers, scrutiny thereof, allotment of symbols, first level checking, preparations and storage of EVMs, important public meetings, processions during the election campaign, process of dispatching of postal ballot papers, polling processes in identifiable vulnerable polling stations, storage of polled EVMs and VVPATs in the counting halls and counting rooms. So these features will be all videographed. Coming to law and order and security arrangement, the conduct of elections involves elaborate security arrangement which includes not just the security of polling personnel, polling stations and polling materials, but also the overall security of the election process. Central Armed Police Forces, that is CAPF, are going to be deployed to supplement the local police force in ensuring a peaceful and conducive atmosphere for the smooth conduct of elections and free, fair and peaceful elections. Based on the assessment of the ground situation, the CAPF and the state armed police forces shall be deployed. The central police force shall be deployed well in advance for area domination, route marches in vulnerable pockets, point patrolling and confidence building measures to reassure and build the faith in the mind of voters. The COs will ensure a day-to-day monitoring of the activities and deployment of the CAPFs in the state to optimize the usage and effectiveness of these forces. Election expenditure monitoring is one more important aspect of the election management. Comprehensive instructions for the purpose of effective monitoring of the election expenditure of the candidate have been issued, which includes formation of flying squads, static surveillance teams, video surveillance teams, involvement of investigation directorates of Income Tax Department, State Excise Department. Police authorities have been asked to monitor production, distribution, sale and storage of liquor and other intoxicants, including the drugs. The functioning and operation of these flying squads mobile teams shall be closely monitored by tracking their GPS movement. Coming to ceiling of election expenditure for the candidates. As per the revised ceiling, the maximum limit of election expenses for any candidate for the Assembly constituency of Himachal Pradesh is 28 lakhs per candidate. All candidates are required to furnish their account of election expenditure within 30 days of the declaration of the polling results. As far as political parties are concerned, all political parties sponsoring candidates for the Legislative Assembly elections are required to maintain accounts of all election campaign expenses and submit the accounts to the Commission within 75 days of completion. Coming to media engagement is very important part of our election management. Commission has always considered the media as an important ally and a potent force multiplier in ensuring an effective and efficient election management. The use of social media. The Commission has decided to enhance its interaction and involvement with all the stakeholders in the electoral process by inducting the use of social media at the state as well as district level. Necessary instructions in this regard have been issued to the Chief Electoral Officer. The CO and the DOs are expected to activate their official accounts on social media and platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and establishing a more interactive system. A social media cell at ECI level has also been set up to monitor the performance of the state. Coming to paid news, to deal with the menace of paid news, a mechanism has been laid with 3-tier media certification and monitoring committee, which are in short known as the MCMCs, to be set up at the district level, state level, and at the ECI level. Revised comprehensive instructions have already been issued, and follow-up action would be taken very strictly. Coming to pre-certification of political advertisements, the Commission has decided that the bulk SMS and the voice messages on the phone in an election campaign shall also be in the purview of pre-certification of election advertisement, as in case of all electronic media, TV channels, etc. Monitoring of electronic and social media, that all the election management related news would be monitored vigorously on all the major national and regional news channels during the elections. Systematic voters education and electoral participation, that is popularly known as sweep. Many times many people ask us, okay, what is sweep, or more importantly or more particularly, what is the VVPAT, because it is very difficult for a common man to understand what is this VVPAT. With our BU and CU we are using for last 20 years, so they are very familiar with the use of BU and CU, that is the balloting unit and the control unit. So we have said that VVPAT is a machine जिसमें हर एक voter अपना vote देख सकेगा. I think in short we can explain like that, because many people say what is this VVPAT, and because the name itself is also a very big one. So we have actually issued very detailed instruction to the CEO of Himachal Pradesh that now the main focus of our sweep activities will have to be that people must know that what is the role of VVPAT, because this VVPAT shall enable that after you press the button on the BU, you can there will be a flash on a glass screen where 3 things will appear. First will be the serial number of the candidate, second will be the name of the candidate, and third, which is more of big in size, is symbol of that candidate. He may be a candidate sponsored by a political party, he can be a candidate, he is an independent candidate also, and this flash will be there for 7 seconds. Many people have been asking कि वो साइज़ बहुत छोटा है उसका, तो उसके लिए साइज़ मैं आपको बता दूं कि साइज़ इज़ 10 centimeter length and 5.6 centimeter is the width. So earlier it was a smaller size, we have now increased it more, so that the voter, after he has pressed the BU button, he can also look simultaneously. You press the button and it is lying just next to the BU, so you can have a look at it कि मैंने जिसको वोट डाला था या जिसका बटन दबाया था उसका नाम उसमें प्रिंट हो गया है ना, तो वो उसको वेरीफाई कर लेना है, because that is the most important thing of transparency and credibility of election is that I can myself, means a voter can verify himself that the person or candidate for whom he has voted is now cast, and पहले वो ये कहते थे कि हमने बटन दबाया तो हमारी वोट किसको गई ये तो मुझे मालूम ही नहीं पड़ा. तो अभी now we have taken that step. I think it is a very big innovation. I would say globally nobody has tried this mechanism, that when you press a button and you get a printout of the vote to whom you have cast. And it is a standalone machine, so that's a very good innovation. Our technical evaluation committee expert members, they are best minds and best scientists there in our technical expert committee, and they are examining and monitoring the design and the layout and its credibility. Very minutely they are monitoring, and we are very confident that it will all the voters will be able to see the name and the symbol of the party, or independent हो तो independent के लिए जो भी symbol हो वो देख सकेंगे. Next is the general observers will also be posted in all the assembly constituencies. and their names, addresses would also be made available in the local newspaper so that the general public can quickly approach them for any grievance redressal. The observers will also be given a detailed briefing by the Commission before they are sent. Similarly, for the law and order situation in the district, police observers shall be posted, and they will be senior IPS officers. And we will also be posting expenditure observers in good numbers. There will be expenditure observers, and there will be assistant expenditure observers who will exclusively monitor the election expenditure of all contesting candidates. Then there will be also another set of persons that will be micro observers. As per our prevailing instructions, the general observers would be deploying micro observers who would be selected from the central government or PSU officials to observe the poll proceeding on the polling day. And they are in touch with the general observer, because general observer cannot cover 300 or 200 or 250 numbers of polling station. But these micro observers who are seated there in the polling station, they are in touch because of the mobile. They are there. Sometimes they go out and also speak to the general observer. In order to facilitate the voting process, and issues and permissions which are required to be given or sought by the contesting candidates, Commission has, in the last 10 state assembly elections, we had started on pilot basis and on a full-fledged basis also, and I am very happy to share with you that the response of the people has been very good. The first IT application is Samadhan, which is basically a public grievance redressal and monitoring system. And now these applications can be made online. I would just like to share with you, in the case of West Bengal, when we tried, we had got 50,000. Their election was held in 6 phases.